Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. A very warm welcome to our loyal viewers and our viewers and friends from E360 TV. Whether you're on the live or the replay, a warm welcome to you. And hello to all of our friends on our usual platforms, which is YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Today's topic is a very interesting one. I have some very personal experiences that I would love to share with you in this topic. And it's human versus machine, understanding job displacement in a digital world. I'm Caroline Heward, and I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. I'm your TV presenter and host for today's show, and I'm also known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I am the channel's resident therapist. I am joined today by a panel of experts, and I want to bring them out very quickly because I can't wait to get into this topic, because it's going to be a very scintillating and interesting one as we share our personal experiences about the topic of human versus machine. Please bring out Reverend LYDIA for, I need to make sure I pronounce this right, so forgive me, LYDIA, if I don't, FOUGERES.
It is okay, it's FOUGERES.
FOUGERES.
Perfect, yes, FOUGERES. That is perfect, no problem. It's nice to see you, thank you.
Oh, bless you. And it's lovely to see you too, always. And we have a special guest joining us this evening, our wonderful etiquette expert, Laura Windsor, coming all the way from London to join us on our expert of panels. Coming out, Laura Windsor.
Hello, Caroline. It's lovely to be back on the show. And hello, Reverend. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Laura. It's wonderful to see you.
Before we dive into this very scintillating topic, I'd love for each of us to introduce ourselves and tell a little bit about what we do. So we'll start off with our Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES. I hope that I've done that right.
It is perfect. Oh, okay. I am a Reverend. I'm in metaphysics. I was a registered nurse for most of my life, actually. And I am an author. I write reflections to help people grow in their Earth Odyssey, because that is what I wrote my book about. It's called 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey. What I do is that I help people grow in their life. I help people find themselves in their life, because the thing is that people get discouraged by all kinds of challenges. And if we just take one day at a time, one challenge at a time, and we face it with optimism, everything comes differently. So that is pretty much, I have a background in psychiatry, and I do not treat people in a psychiatric context. Absolutely not. Because it is not because we do not see that it is not there. So that is the way I see things. So thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And our special guest, Laura Windsor, please tell our viewers, especially the people that haven't heard you before or seen you before and here for the first time, please tell our viewers what you do and how you help people.
Yes, I am an etiquette expert and I help people understand polite society across cultures, because what is polite in one culture may not be polite in another. So awareness, self-awareness is very important, and being able to be polite in a certain culture is not only a way of creating rapport, but it's also very magnetic.
Thank you, Laura. Wonderful. And for myself, I'm known as the Harley Street stress expert, and I help people bust their stress. How do I do that? I work with root cause therapy and chakra psychology, and I identify the root cause that caused the symptom in the first place, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, behavioral. And we've had a lot of challenges in our world in recent times, and lots of people are suffering in different ways in terms of the fallout of what's been happening recently in our changed times. Certainly, people are suffering much more with anxiety, depression, and stress. And I help people break through the patterns that are causing their responses, the way that they react and respond to their stressful situations. And that's me. So now let's get into the topic. Reverend Lydia, when you consider this topic, when you hear the words human versus machine, I'm just going to look at that to begin with. What comes into your mind? How do you feel when you just get those two words, human versus machine? What kind of thoughts and feelings come up for you, Reverend Lydia?
Well, human versus machine to me means when we go into a medical sphere, there's a lot, now everything is by computers. But the problem is that when computers fail, the human has to do the whole thing. So you might have a really good computer. The problem is that if your computer fails, you have to be there. So yes, machines are good, but the thing is that humans still have to be there. It is very important because decisions cannot be taken by machines, because it is absolutely inappropriate to let a machine take a decision over the life of someone. So for me, human versus machine has to do with the medical field and also with the psychological field. It is very important not to think that AI or whatever can replace human beings. That is the way I think.
Thank you, Reverend. I'm so in agreement with you. As I said, this is going to be an extremely juicy topic that I'm sure we'll all have some extremely interesting and personal shares. And on that, I would like to share something in terms of my experience of human versus machine. And that's something that maybe all of us that go shopping will experience. And that is, I've noticed a huge introduction of tills that are not manned by people that never seem to work for me. Tills that you have to go and you scan each item. And because I'm a therapist and because I work energetically, as you know, through the chakras, my energy is usually in a different space to the technology. And so I'm frequently calling people across, you know, that are staff to help me out. And one evening, on a Friday night, I used to go to my Tesco when I was in London, and I missed the last person that was checking out and serving customers. And I had to go to the self-serve checkout. And I was there for 50 minutes because it just kept stopping and starting, which was hugely frustrating for me because the staff wasn't there and I had to keep waiting for somebody to help me to unstick it. So from my perspective, human versus machine, I will always go to the human being on a checkout. What are your thoughts, Laura, in terms of what I've just shared, what Reverend Lydia has shared, and maybe you might have some of your own personal experiences of human versus machine.
Well, when I think of AI, it is pretty scary, especially if you're not accustomed to it, especially older people. They're probably thinking, oh my God, what is this thing? But talking about older people, I think that having a robot, let's just say, because that is artificial intelligence, creating a robot for companionship in the future could help people, especially the older generation, because there are a lot of lonely people out there, and the young people don't have the time or the will to go and see older people, spend time with them. So having a robot in the house could help older people live longer and live out their days a little bit happier. When I think of AI, I think of emails. Now, using AI in this sense also shows politeness, because AI, after a while, it learns how to be polite. It does incredible things, but you don't really know who is behind that email, what they're really like. So in that way, it's a little bit scary, because they may sound wonderful, but their personality sometimes may not be behind that email, for example.
Cool thoughts, Laura. Very, very cool thoughts. Have you got any feedback or comments to share about what Laura has just shared, Reverend Lydia?
Well, I think what Laura just said is absolutely true, because we never know who we're talking to, who we're communicating with, if they use AI. So the person might be a person that is not very enjoyable, and they sound so marvelous in an email, but it's not the person at all. And yes, Laura's right about that. So right.
I'd just like to take this a little bit further in this discussion in terms of understanding the displacement of people's jobs in the digital world. There has been so many people losing their jobs because of AI, because of machines taking over. So, Reverend Lydia, what are your thoughts in terms of the fact that many machines, and in particular, as Laura mentioned, robots and other types of technology are displacing our human people in the work environment? Do you have any thoughts or comments to share in terms of your own personal experience, Reverend Lydia?
Yes, what I see is that when robots actually replace humans, humans have to go to school a lot longer to get jobs. So the workforce is more difficult for people that have lower scholarity. So that is the problem. So a person with grade 12, I am in Canada, so that is the way it works, at grade 12. A person with only grade 12 has trouble finding work nowadays, because robots have replaced the workforce, and now they have to go to college, university, they have to get master's degree and even PhDs to get good work. So, which is difficult for people. People do not all have the income to go for a master's degree or whatever. So in that way, they are left out, and sometimes they are left out by society, and they end up on benches on the street. That is the way it happens now. People do not think about those people. They end on the street while they used to have a job before.
It's stark, isn't it, Reverend Lydia? It's very, very stark, in terms of, I'm now 60 and I've watched technology change throughout the years, and I've had to become extremely adaptable, as we all have been, having to adapt to the incredible changes in the way that we see things. Banking. Who would have believed when I was in the mid 80s that we would have been banking on our phone? And I remember speaking to somebody in the early 90s talking about this, we're going to be able to bank using our phone. And I just and said, that's ridiculous. But this is what's happened in terms of our world, our changes in technology that affect us all. And I'd like to share with you something that my mum keeps saying to me, and it's frustrating her because she's 81 and she keeps being told to go online. Oh, we don't do a catalogue anymore, go online. Oh, we don't supply that anymore. It's not in store, you have to go online. And my mum is slowly feeling and saying she's losing her independence. She doesn't want to come to me and ask me. And she feels that she's not as independent as she would like to be. And she can't do the things that she would like to do, that she always used to do. And one of her regular comments is, I am sick of being told that I have to go online. I'm really fed up with it. But, you know, we may smile at that. But at the same time, it is a problem for our more mature people, our silent generation, our baby boomers from the silent generation. Reverend Lydia, what are your thoughts about what I've just shared in terms of how my mum is feeding back to me? And I'm certainly not young, but, you know, she's feeding that back to me. And I have gone online, but many people haven't that are my age.
Well, I understand very well your mother, because my stepfather has trouble going online. He has trouble getting his emails. He does not have Messenger or Facebook or whatever. So he has trouble. There is also, my grandfather used to say, we have to adapt. It is progress. He always used, whenever there was a change, he used to say, you know, darling, it is called progress. But progress is so fast nowadays that people cannot catch up. So that is the problem with society nowadays. It goes too fast. So you learn something and then you have to learn something else the week after, or just look at the update on your telephone. You get used to your phone and the week after you have an update and everything is changed. So, yes, it's progress, I understand, but at the same time, it's a challenge for people that do not understand digital, the internet, whatever, because they're used to catalogs, and it is important to respect them in whatever they have learned. I'm not okay with the fact that we're forcing them into such stress, because it is a lot of stress for a person to go online, to have to do their banking, having to do everything by telephone. It is very stressful. Some people go into very serious depressions because of the digital world. That is what happens.
I'm so inclined to agree with you, and there's a few things that I want to pick up on, but I'd like to go over to Laura to just get your feedback on some of the comments that Reverend Lydia has mentioned, and if you have any of your own thoughts about what she shared and what's being shared altogether on the show so far.
Of course. Well, I agree with you both. It's the older generation that is suffering. But I think the older generation is a specific generation where change has been at its biggest. And therefore, yes, they're suffering because internet, all these modern ways that we communicate and we do things like banking is so different to how they were taught in the past. So I can definitely understand. However, I have a friend who has MS, and he literally cannot do much anymore. But there is help out there. I think that there must be, I know that in Great Britain, there's always some kind of body that can help certain people with everything that they need. And I know that there is help there, but finding that help, I suppose, is a little difficult. That's, yes, that's how. There isn't really that much to say from me.
Thank
anymore.
you, Laura.
I think I said enough.
It's really, you know, it's what we're saying is the same
difficult.
thing.
Yeah.
I also want to share I also want to share something else. You know, I particularly use my mum because she does a lot of going out and doing things. She very much is the person that does the home stuff. And something that she shared with me, which I didn't kind of think about, because she's been struggling sometimes to do shopping. And before I went out with her and did some shopping, I was suggesting going online. And I said to her, I can do your shopping for you online, so you don't have to carry the heavy stuff. And then it can come to your door and you don't have to go out. And she got quite upset with me for suggesting it. And then when I was over a few weeks ago and went shopping with her, I understood why. It wasn't the concept of the shopping particularly. She actually left deliberately different things each day so that she could go back into the superstore. And what I saw and what I witnessed was that it was her social as well. She was chatting to the different people on the different counters. And this is something that I feel that from that generation, and certainly from mine too, that the social interaction when we're in our daily activities is something that is part of our very makeup. And when we're not socially interacting in terms of face-to-face, we miss something. And my mum also has it's like sort of a whole expedition of going a taxi there and also having lunch there so that she can chat to different people. And so the whole shopping experience is not about shopping online as an alternative. It's taking away her social interaction and activities. And then I advised her and said to her, I really get why you want to keep shopping, you know, but if you ever need any help, if something's too heavy, I'll get it online for you so you don't have to carry. What are your thoughts about what I've just shared, Reverend Lydia, in terms of my mum's experience of the interaction of face-to-face versus the doing it online?
Well, you are so right, Caroline. It is something that I had not thought about because my stepfather, I always talk about my stepfather, I adore him. So my stepfather actually goes for errands all the time. And I always say, you're losing time. You're driving around, you're doing this, you're doing that. Why don't you just take the phone or look and you will find your item. You will see if there's 3, 4 left, and you will not have to go around like you do. So he says, well, I want to see. And I did not understand the concept the way you just explained. I did not understand that it was his social life, talking to the cashier. It was seeing people in the store. I did not understand that perspective. So I understand it differently now. And from now on, I will abstain from I will say to him, I understand and drive as long as you want. Just do it and be happy. And that is it.
And it's something that's so important in terms of that feeling that I got when I was with her. At every counter, my mum stopped, had a chat. She was chatting to the people in the aisle. And I just so became aware of, oh my gosh, this isn't a shopping trip just to get what she needs. And I couldn't understand these multiple times that she went shopping for different things. And I just thought, Mum, you could do all that in one hit. But, you know, seeing it and experiencing it brought it to life. What are your thoughts about what's been shared, Laura?
Yes, this social interaction. At the end of the day, we all need social interaction, whether we're old, we're young. It's just that the younger generation, let's say, aren't used to it that much. And I'm just thinking that the less social interaction we are going to get, the harder we're going to get. The ability to show our uniqueness and personality is going to fade, and what's going to come out of it, and our empathy as well, and what's going to come out of it is, I don't know, almost robot-like. We're going to become like robots with a little bit more empathy, but AI is taking away our personality and our not our empathy, it'll always be there, but our practice of being empathetic and well-mannered and using etiquette in our everyday living.
Laura, I am so in agreement with you, and I'm just about to use another technical word, dehumanization.
Yes.
Because I feel that, and I'm sounding very negative, and at the same time, it is dehumanizing how we interact in our world of work, in our everyday social and domestic interactions. And I certainly have seen a lot of our younger generations, the millennials, and more importantly, Generation Z and Alpha generation, where everything is done in their screen. And I saw a meme very recently, I think it was over the last few days, and the meme had two pictures, one for 1980, where everybody was having dinner and praying, and like all the meal was, on the table. And then it had a 2024 dinner table where everybody was in their phones. And it is actually real. This is the dehumanization of the fact that we are in this very vast world of technology. And there's one other thing that I want to share, and it is very much in the UK. I'm not sure if it's in America as much or Canada, but in current times in the UK, we've had a lot of banks that have closed down, and a lot of we call them holes in the wall. I'm not quite sure what they're called in other countries, but it's where you can get cash out of a machine that's a hole in the wall, so you don't have to actually see somebody. And so there's very little of the banks that you can do that with in terms of being open to go to the hole in the wall, because that has to be managed by a bank. And also there's very few banks now that are open for certainly, I feel, the more elder generation that prefer to have that face-to-face, that conversation in terms of being able to do things in the banking industry, certainly to ask for a loan. When I was quite young, that's what we used to do. We knew our bank managers really well. But now I feel that word, it's being dehumanized, is very much what's happening in our culture, in our society, of the machines, the human versus the machine. Do you have any thoughts to share? Does any one of you want to share your thoughts about what I've just shared in terms of the banking industry and the fact that you can't go and see your bank manager anymore and you have to fill in an online form?
Well, I do understand what you mean, because I recently saw a very important bank close here in Canada, and I was very surprised. But we do not have the problem right now of having the automatic, we call them automatic tellers. We do not have the problem of not having them. They are absolutely everywhere. And we have banks everywhere. So we can go and have an interview with people, real live interviews with people if we want. We are still at that stage. But I see the way you are talking that it is coming here also. So it's quite scary to know what is coming to us in the next few years. And yes, I'd like to know what Laura thinks about this.
Yes, thank you, Reverend. You gave me an idea talking about Canada. In Italy, they're very formal and they love to have the face-to-face more than emails or doing things with machines. So luckily in Italy, there's still that tradition of face-to-face interaction. Obviously, with the passing of time and the generations, this will sadly disappear slowly. But everywhere I go, let's say in Milan, there's always some sort of interaction, and Italians love to talk, so that helps as well. In this country, in Great Britain, yes, there's a lot of machines around, which is quite lonely, even for a person my age. You can go through a couple of hours not talking to anybody, and then if you do talk to someone, they think you're crazy or whatever. If you just say hello to someone. So people aren't used to interaction on the streets, let's say.
Thank you, Laura. I would like to focus on some positives. I would like to bring it into a place of that there is some positives about machines versus human, and I would like to look at some of those activities. Before I do that, Dr. Jacalyn, who's very wonderfully in the background doing all the whizzy effects of the production and the broadcasting, shared in America it's the same, and it's called ATM in America. So thank you very much, Dr. Jacalyn, doing all the very whizzy effects in the background there. So looking at positives, I'm looking at, there are some benefits, and I'm certainly seeing some benefits because I can do this now, whereas previously there wasn't such a thing as being online and being able to broadcast from your home. You know, I'm in my living room and set up this broadcast from my laptop. And I feel that I can reach more people more effectively by being on this live stream, and then it's there forever. And I feel that that is a massive plus. And it means that I can reach more people and also allow more people to take advantage of the benefits of what I'm sharing. And that's why I'm here. That's why I come week in, week out, because there's always things to share that are going to be positive and generate positivity, inspiration, education. That's what we're all about at this channel. And I feel that there is a huge positive. Instead of going to a studio in a formal location, you know, an on-site studio, I can create the studio in my living room with the lights and my laptop, and it works. What are your thoughts about what I've just shared, Reverend Lydia?
Well, I share the same feeling because I am in the country. I love it. I would not change it for anything in the world. I go outside, feed the deer, the wild turkeys, but at the same time, everything is modern. So the thing is that with the internet, we can do whatever we want now because this is not a background. This is really home. So this is absolutely awesome because we do not have to leave and go to a studio. We can actually do whatever from home. So that is a lot of traveling because here just to go to the store, it's 45 minutes. So that is long and, you know, takes a lot of time in a day. So the internet is absolutely wonderful. We can do that and be happy and be grateful that we have it.
I'm so in agreement with you. Saving travel time. I never thought I'd ever say that, but it certainly does save travel time. Because if I want to go to a studio now, I would have to travel to London, and I'm nowhere near London. So it would be challenging to do this twice a week. Because it just wouldn't be possible if I was in a physical studio. And the cost savings, I'm saving a fortune. That I set it up in my own front living room and I can be in the shower an hour before and getting ready and be here very timely. So what are your thoughts about what we've shared, Laura?
Yes, the internet is an amazing tool for everything. It saves time and energy and even little things like meeting up with a friend. In the old days, you know, I remember going and trying to meet up with my best friend and I got the station wrong. And that meant that we never actually saw each other. And then I had to fly off to Milan and I didn't see her for a while. So at least now, if you're at the wrong station, all you have to do is, where are you? And you get to know which station to go to. Or if you're late for something, you can let someone know. So a lot of positives. And I did stress in the beginning about robots for lonely people, for the elderly. I hope that one day we will all have robots in the house to just make us more human, just to hear someone who says please and thank you and excuse me, even if that thing doesn't have a heart and has no empathy. It's just nice to hear. So that hopefully will be the future for all of us. It's like people who have dogs. People take dogs, buy dogs because they're lovely and cuddly and they're good and they're positive. And I think that will also apply to robots in the future. Let's hope so.
Thank you, Laura. Well, we're coming towards the end of our show. Can you believe it? I had so many other questions to ask, and we are almost at the end of our show. So that we don't run out of time, please, Lydia, Reverend Lydia, can you share how people can contact you? And can you also share one tip that you would give to someone having been on this show and what you've experienced? One tip that you feel that would be beneficial in terms of the way people see things and how they can move with the times is where we are.
Well, the important thing is not to stress out, because we can learn. Whatever we want, we can learn. We do not have to learn it in 5 minutes, and we can make mistakes. That's the important issue. We can make mistakes and start. It's not at risk. Yes, we can make a mistake. We can be booted out of a conference and then come back. On the news, it happens regularly, so whatever. So that is the way it happens. And as for my books, I do write reflections for people actually to take it easy and to reflect and to think about their life, because everything goes fast. And by thinking about their life with those books, they can help themselves. That is the way it happens. So that is the way it has to be. And we can always make a mistake and then start over. That is the way it works.
How can people contact you, Reverend Lydia?
Yes, people can contact me on my website, lydiafougere.com. They can also write to me at greatdivinemother@gmail.com. Also, I always answer. I am always very enthusiastic to answer a reader or someone that wants just to talk, they just want me to listen. I'm available. They take an appointment and I'm there. All they have to do is book me. I'm an intuitive healer also, so I do it around the world. So that is the way they can contact me. They have the website also, and they can have my books on Amazon and on my website also. But I am available.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. It's always wonderful to share this space with you. Always a pleasure. Thank you. And over to our esteemed guest, Laura Windsor, the etiquette expert. Laura, please do share with our audience something, a share in terms of a tip from today's show that you feel would be beneficial. Yes. And also remember to give them your contact details so they may be able to reach out to you and take benefit of your services.
I just say take time to help someone stop. Don't carry on thinking about yourself. Helping someone, even for a few minutes, can change their lives. Being kind to people, just something on the street, hello, good afternoon, a lovely smile, that is the way you can also help people. But as far as AI is concerned, just give people some time, some of your time, to explain things to help them. And you can contact me on my website, laurawindsoretiquette.com, or my business WhatsApp, that is London +44 7783 222 736, or on Instagram at Laura Windsor Etiquette.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure to have you as our guest on tonight's show.
It was lovely to be here.
Thank you. And for myself, the tip that I would leave with you in terms of this show is that the technology can be frightening, especially for our elderly folk. It's sometimes frightening for me. Sometimes I think, oh no, not something else to learn. What I would say is take a breath. It can't do you any harm. It can't destroy you. So take a breath. You don't know what you don't know. And somebody will tell you if you want to know. Somebody will show you. I've been amazed at how much support that I've had just by saying, I don't know. And then people have come out, and Dr. Jacalyn in particular on this show helped me to create this studio with a green screen and the lights I didn't know. And she helped me to create that. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't ask. So it's not what you know, it's what you don't know and what you ask about. So always be comfortable to question. It's about the quality of the questions that give you the quality of the answers. You can reach me on nomorestress@live.co.uk or call me if you're international +44. If you're local, 07523 120 189. You can follow me on LinkedIn and also Facebook. And if you reach out and message me, I respond to all of my messages. And I look forward to helping you bust your stress. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, and thank you very much to our etiquette expert, Laura Windsor, for joining us as our special guest this evening. It has been an absolute delight to explore this topic, and it's not all negative. I've certainly gained a lot from technology and the machine versus the human. There is so much more. I think that this could be possibly a part 2 and a part 3. And now, before we go over to our sponsors, there is an opportunity to become an exclusive VIP community member for first access to our newest videos, photographs, and insights on the British royal family, which is live streamed on USA Global TV and Radio and YouTube. So please do sign up and become a VIP exclusive member of our community. And now over to our sponsors, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And I think the time's changed, so we will be 7 p.m. GMT time and 2 p.m. Eastern time. Bye-bye for now and have a wonderful week. Over to our sponsors.
5 little-known secrets for dementia caregivers with Tracy Cram-Perkins.
Hi there, I am Tracy Cram-Perkins, the host of the Dementia Home Care Show here on USA Global TV and Radio. I am also the author of the book of the same name. And you'll see this QR code. This is for an extended version of the same talk. So if you want to see the full hour-long version, feel free to scan the code and go to that website. Stick with me. We'll talk about 5 little-known secrets to make it a little easier to do dementia caregiving. What you're seeing on the left-hand side is a healthy aged brain, age 55 and above. The one you're seeing on the right is an Alzheimer's disease brain. It is in moderate disease. It is shrinking. It has holes in it. The memories that were in those holes no longer exist. When you're learning something, let's say in kindergarten, you learn how to tie your shoelace. Well, then by the time you're in 2nd grade, your brain remembers that information from tying the shoelace and applies it so you can learn more quickly how to tie more complex knots. So the brain is hardwired to do this for us, so it helps us learn faster so it doesn't take us long to acquire knowledge. The brain is looking for the information and they pick the closest to wherever that hole is. Let's look at some tips that we can use to help do that.
These are 5 simple tools you can use as a dementia caregiver to help your loved one. The whiteboard is a useful tool in recording the day's activities and the answers to repetitive questions. The calendar clock is a very useful tool to orient your loved one on the day, the date, and the time, and remind them of upcoming appointments. The communication cards are a great tool to bridge the gap when they can no longer tell you what's wrong. And then there's the pill minder for when your loved one is still able to take pills but needs prompting. The final tool I want to share with you is the memory book. It tells your loved one's story. It's a great tool for distraction, redirection, also as a conversation starter, and telling you where they are in their story so you know how to answer their questions.
Music is probably the most powerful tool in your toolbox after laughter. Music is a way to maintain connection. It sticks with your brain longer than any other thing, including reading. When you're having an issue with somebody, you can play their favorite music if you move them to another room, something that makes them happy, or you can start singing songs together from their childhood. These are some of my favorite books for caregivers. My show airs on the third Tuesday of every month, and you can view past episodes on YouTube. Thank you, everyone.
This program has been brought to you in part by Tracy Cram Perkins. Connect with her and order her book at tracycramperkins.com. For more information about Alzheimer's disease, support resources, and how you can help, contact the Alzheimer's Association at 1-800-272-3900 or visit their website at www.alz.org. They offer 24/7 helpline support and a wealth of information to assist you and your loved ones.
When we speak, we don't hear. It's abundantly clear. Listening lazy scripting, and nobody's gonna win. Look someone in the eye. If you don't, they surely will cry. You don't hear a word I say, 'cause you always look straight away. Listening lazy is driving people crazy. Listening lazy is making us blue. Listening lazy, communication goes hazy. Listening lazy, listening lazy. Da 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 da. Listening lazy is driving people crazy. Listening lazy is making us blue. Listening lazy, communication goes hazy. Listening lazy, listening lazy. When you interrupt your friend, you will surely have to make amends. Lady Ella knows the way to help you listen better every day. And what's that? It's listening lazy. Ba-da-ba-ba. Listening lazy is driving people crazy. Listening lazy is making us blue. Listening lazy, communication goes hazy. Listening lazy, listening lazy. Listening lazy is driving people crazy. Listening lazy is making us blue. Listening lazy, communication goes hazy. Listening lazy, listening lazy, listening lazy.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the Secrets of Visual Impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, mastery in dining etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.